You're welcome. Straight to our discussion tonight on the situation in Rivers State. The political crisis in that state took a dramatic turn over the weekend with the circulation of a document alleged to be a leaked copy of a judgment by the FCT High Court restraining INEC and others from declaring the seats of the decamped members of the Rivers State House of Assembly vacant over their defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Now, I must state this, that News Central TV cannot confirm the authenticity of that document or judgment, which was meant, by the way, to be delivered today. As we speak, no judgment has been delivered. Maybe that should indicate something to you and I. Now, on Saturday, the defected members of the River State House of Assembly, 25 of them were officially received by the caretaker executive committee of the All Progressive Congress in River State, led by Dr. Tony Okocha. Dr. Tony Okocha was the chief of staff to Rotimi Amechi, but later he moved over to the Wike camp, though he still remained in the All Progressives Congress. And he is the chairman, albeit on a caretaker basis, recently, a couple of weeks ago, appointed by the Abdullah Ganduje-led APC, or Abdullah Ganduje chairman, national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. They're still in court regarding that because the ex-co who were sacked are saying that they are still authentic, and they say Okocha is not a member of their party. But anyway, today, the River State Elders Forum held a press conference where they shared a communique. We have a copy of that, in which the forum says it reviewed what it called the embarrassing, dangerous ongoing happenings in River State and by extension Nigeria. This an attempt to impeach Sir Simbalayi Fubara, the executive governor of River State, bombing of the River State House of Assembly chambers, attack on the life of the executive governor, allegedly by some security agents. This is what they said. And in their words, this is the Elders Forum, other acts of impunity and lawlessness which they say portend a great danger to the peace and security of River State and Nigeria as a whole. News Central was there live, and let's go back to see what transpired when the Elders Forum in River State, which, by the way, has some very, very key and influential persons in the political history of River State as part of its membership. We'll listen to that, and we'll be right back.
Elders talking about the political impasse between the sitting governor of River State, Simbalayi Fubara, and the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, in the state.
Excellency Chief Rufus Ada George, former governor of River State. The forum reviewed the outcome of his previous meetings and follow-up actions, which include letters seeking audience with our sons, the executive governor of River State, Sir Simbalayi Fubara, and Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, former governor and presently Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The forum reviewed the embarrassing and dangerous ongoing happenings in River State and by extension Nigeria, namely attempt to impeach Sir Simbalayi Fubara, executive governor of River State, the bombing of the River State House of Assembly chambers, attack on the life of the executive governor, allegedly by some security agents on Monday, 30th October 2023, and the other acts of impunity and lawlessness, which portends great dangers for the peace and security of River State and Nigeria as a whole. After an extensive deliberation and consideration of the issues, the forum resolved as follows. 1. The forum regretted that Governor Siminayi Fubara nor Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, none of them responded to our letters seeking for audience with each of them. The attempt to impeach the governor of Rivers State, barely about 6 months in office, without explaining to the good people of the state the reasons and infractions of law, is unacceptable. The forum condemns every form of violence and lawlessness in Rivers State, and therefore demand proper investigation of the crisis and those responsible be brought to justice. 4. The forum reviewed the demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly by the Rivers State government and urged the government to expedite action on rebuilding the demolished House of Assembly complex so that lawmakers will continue their legislative business in a permanent site within the shortest possible time. The forum condemned in its entirety the misuse of Rivers people's political power vested in politicians for personal gains and interests. Hence, we condemn in its entirety the recent defections of 27 law officers without recount to their constituents. The forum is aware of this and thus reject the news making the rounds of social media of forum shopping and purchase of legal instruments outside Rivers State to cause crisis in the state, thereby endangering human lives and property. An alleged, already written, premeditated court ruling by one Justice Donatus Okoro of Federal High Court 8, Abuja, on an ex parte application secretly filed in the night by pro-Wike former lawmakers, which the judge wants to deliver tomorrow, which is today, Monday, and has been delivered already. We saw it, it was all over the social media, it was all over, handled, floated by some of the 27 members of the House, and it has been delivered in what was envisaged, the way it was written. He wanted to stop the earlier approved or the declaration of their seats vacant, an action that was already concluded by a Port Harcourt High Court, and also to give them the legitimacy to move in with DSS, the police, to start the illegal impeachment of Governor Fubara. That was exactly what they intended, and it has been done today. This memo, this action has been written weeks ago from what we understood. The foregoing is disturbing and generating serious tension in Rivers State, and thus giving the forum great concern, indeed great concern, because we don't know what can follow from this action. We therefore urge the judiciary and all security agents to be wary and alive in discharge of their responsibility in order not to worsen the
All right, tonight we're joined to look at this development and other, developments surrounding the situation in River State by Nigerian activist Ankio Briggs. Ankio Briggs, thank you so much, madam, for your time. It's good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me. Good to see you too.
Okay. We've heard from the River State, Elders Forum, a bit of what they said there in that clip. I mean, you have quite some big names. We had His Excellency Chief Rufus Ada George, CEO and GSRS, Governor of River State from January 1992 to November 1993. We have Rear Admiral AOP, Rear Admiral O.P. Fingesi, retired OFR, the likes of His Royal Highness Anapsara Egbe, Emeritus Professor Dagogo Fubara, and of course, a lot of other people, including yourself. These are quite some very big names. Senator Ben Birabi, who I saw on the left of the former governor of River State, and of course, on his right, another very key politician whose name I can't recall right now. What is the stance officially of the River State Elders Forum on the ongoing political crisis in River State?
Well, I mean, the communique that was read, which was worked on yesterday evening after the meeting that we held, says it all. It is very worrying. This is not the first meeting that has been held since this crisis erupted on the 30th of October this year. This is, I think, the third or so meeting that has been held on this issue. Definitely, the gathering is concerned, and this concern is based on what we're hearing on ground, what we're hearing from the communities, the local government representatives. What I mean by that is the grassroots local government, not the politicians, but the people that they are supposed to be representing. Since Saturday evening, when the document started circulating of an order that is supposed to be coming out today based on the movement that has been made in Abuja by the very lawmakers that removed themselves from their place of work, if you like, where they're supposed to represent their constituents, and crossed over to APC political party. That has given definitely increased the tension that has been on ground since October. And after what has happened today, the tension is high amongst, at least from the calls that I am getting. And these are coming from youths particularly, and from the different local government areas of River State. So the elders are very worried that, first of all, they've not been able to speak with either the Federal Capital Minister or the governor of River State. But we're not unaware of the fact that the governor of River State has quite a large support of amongst the people of River State, based on what we have seen, and based on what we have heard, that has subsequently led up to this very serious crisis that River State people, through no fault of their own, have now been saddled with, while people are unable to feed themselves and unable to pay their bills.
Yes.
That we're saddled with this sort of tension as well. It's unacceptable.
Interesting, Ankio Briggs. Some could argue that it seems your communique, the communique of the River State Elders Forum, seems to be in favor of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and against others. For instance, Nyesom Wike, Minister of the FCT. What do you say to that? Because I've looked, apart from paragraph 1 of the resolutions. The rest really are, you describe the impeachment of the governor or the steps as unacceptable. You've condemned, made some condemnations. What's your response to that? That this communique seems to be tilted in favor of Governor Fubara in all of what's happening in River State?
I think that it is the responsibility of the media, and I must say that you're one of the people that do a good job in that, and I'm not flattering you. I'm just speaking the truth, which is to say that the role of the media is to be able to, at all times, to present the issues on a balanced table, and so that the media is not seen to be tilting one way more than the other. So that is good that you have presented it like that. But look, if we recall, when the PDP elders went to Abuja at the first instance of this crisis, and they left Port Harcourt and they went to Abuja. Number one, the crisis is in Port Harcourt, it's in Rivers State, it's not in Abuja. So them going to Abuja indicated that their interest is in Abuja. Now, why should the interest of leaders, political leaders, be in Abuja? And these same political leaders, after their own press briefing, said that they stand with Wike. Now, I see, I'm not against anybody standing with anybody. It's a choice. And but when you're talking about the issues of politics in River State, and we're talking about a governor that is duly elected on one hand, and then you're talking about the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, I think that in my mind, as a Rivers daughter, and talking about a crisis in Rivers State, not in Abuja, not in Nigeria per se, but crisis in Rivers State. It goes without saying that my first interest is Rivers State. And if that then translates to being on the side of the governor, then that is what it is, because the issue is that it is the governor that is under pressure. It is the governor that woke up one morning and found himself threatened with impeachment. It is the governor that was attacked and pelted with powerful water cannon, tear gas, and according to what the governor himself said, that he was aimed at and shot at. So if we're saying, are we taking sides on whether what happened to the governor is right or wrong? Yes, of course it's unacceptable. Nobody shot at the minister. Nobody pelted the minister of FCT with a water cannon or tear gas. So the issue is about Rivers State, and it's about the governor of Rivers State being allowed to govern according to his ability and capacity, and let the people of Rivers State decide whether the governor is a good governor.
Okay, but Ankio Briggs, Madam, when you as a Rivers Elders Forum say that, the impeachment, the plans, attempts to impeach the governor, it's unacceptable, one would say, well, you're taking a side in this fight or in this stalemate, bearing in mind the impeachment, like Wike said, is guaranteed and guaranteed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which anyone can access, anyone can use, just like the process of recalling a senator, House of Reps member, or House of Assembly member. So shouldn't this be left to the legislators to decide, do we want to impeach the governor or not?
On whose behalf are the legislators, the lawmakers, on whose behalf are they impeaching the governor? I want to believe that they are impeaching the governor on behalf of the of their constituents. So if that be the case, then at what point did they actually sit down with their constituents and say to them that because of A, B, C, D, E, F, we have to impeach the governor of Rivers State? The same people you're referring to, and the same former governor, now the minister you're referring to, who says that impeachment is guaranteed under the Constitution. I want to see where under that guarantee it says that you can just wake up one morning and decide that because you disagree with the governor of a state, that you're just going to go ahead and impeach him. No, it's very clear the circumstances under which you can impeach the governor. And if those circumstances are not what is on ground, then it becomes questionable that why are we being told that the governor is going to be impeached, or actually the process to impeach, and actually, if you like, the rascality of actually saying that they are going to continue to attempt, even outside the legal facilities of Rivers State, where the governor is and where the people of Rivers State are. You now go around outside of Rivers State trying to purchase judgments and orders and all of that against the governor of Rivers State outside of Rivers State. What exactly are they impeaching the governor for? Why are they not going to tell us why they are going? Which law did he break? Why is he being impeached? Let us know why the governor is being. Look, this position I'm taking. In the past, I have stood up when I believe that things that are being done against the then governor of Rivers State, and even as recent as when Gumi got up and attacked the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, I was one of the first peoples amongst people like Chief E.K. Clark that took time and actually detailed to Gumi the reasons why Wike qualifies to be the minister of the Federal Capital Territory.
Okay.
So,
Let's look at another aspect.
That I'm taking sides.
Yes, Ms. Briggs.
If it is not right to say that I also took sides at that time.
Ms. Briggs, interesting points you've raised. I want us to look at the issue of demolition of the State House, because I'm still looking at your communique. It seems that the Elders Forum is refraining, from how would I put it now, condemning that demolition, rather looking and bringing reasons why that demolition ought to have happened, when there are two sides to this coin. Because those who are the majority members of the House of Assembly are not happy that the place was demolished. They say that the history and the memory of the River State Legislature has been destroyed. Nothing was taken out of that place. You have their personal property destroyed, and they feel that for any move, to rehabilitate such a place by demolishing it first of all, that the leadership and the membership of the State House Assembly or the legislature ought to be the one to vote and say we want the government to come and renovate this place. So what I see from your communique here is that it says the forum reviewed the demolition of the River State House of Assembly by Rivers State government and urged the government to expedite action on rebuilding the demolished house complex. So it seemed a bit soft on that. Hence, some people will be asking or arguing that the forum is taking sides, tilting towards Fubara against Wike.
Again, this whole crisis is about the governor of Rivers State. This whole crisis is about the people of Rivers State. It's about the stability and security of Rivers State. It's about justice for Rivers State. Now, in Odili's tenure, this house was built. Then Omea went ahead and continued, and even Amechi himself continued. Now, where I'm going with this is quite simply the facts, which is to say that even Wike himself, in 2000, I think 2020 or 21 or thereabout, about two years ago, when he was speaking publicly, had made reference to the fact of the inability, the uninhabitable aspect of this very complex. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is this, that this complex was bombed or dynamited on, I think, one night in October, which led to the governor visiting the place to see the damage that have occurred at this place. And it was in that process that the governor encountered people, a few members of the forces where arms were used against the governor. Now, the governor, in explaining to the people of River State why the demolition took place, said that after the bombing, he engaged, the government engaged specialists to look at the structures, to look at the complex. Now, I want to believe, and I do believe the governor, when he has said that he has looked at this through the eyes of experts, and it has been decided that the complex is not safe for business to be carried on. Now, the other nitty-gritties of whether files were removed and the laptops were not removed and all of those things will be discussed as historical as they are, and evidences will come out.
Yeah, but Ankio Briggs, the argument by some, especially, yes, Ankio Briggs, sorry about that. Just to ask a follow-up question, I'm sincerely sorry for interjecting at this point. But argument by some of those who we've spoken to, who are part of the members who decamped from PDP to the APC, what they're saying is that the Nigerian, the arms of government of this country are independent of each other, that the executive is independent of the judiciary, which is independent of the legislature. And what is happening is exactly like a governor going to pull down a court complex without recourse to the judiciary. They're saying it is the House of Assembly as an independent arm of government that ought to make a request to the executive, say, please come help us renovate, not the governor in his position, engaging experts on his own and deciding we have to pull it. And that's what they argue. So what do you say to this?
You see, the politics that we see in Nigeria and the politics that I have observed over the years, particularly in River State, is so far a politics of not telling the truth, hiding, not even hiding, using personal interest as if it is the people's interest. It is not in the people's interest what we have endured in the past couple of months. Now, it's all right, and I say this constantly, it's all right for politicians at every given time to argue when it suits them and forget events that has happened before this time. And that's where, unfortunately, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, I want to cite him as an example, finds himself today where, over the years, he has said so many things that at that particular time were positive things for the circumstances in which he was saying them. But today, he's doing the opposite of those things. And because it is no longer in the interest of what he is pursuing. And that is where we are today. Now, that Governor Sim has decided and did go ahead to pull down, demolish, however you want to put it, the State Assembly, is up to him to have made that decision. And he has told us so far why he has made that decision. Now, the argument that is coming from the people who have left that complex. They left that complex in as much as they have crossed over from one political party to another political party. And so their argument is, for me, is not based on the interest of even they themselves to life and limb. Don't forget, it is still in this very chamber that a member, I think a house leader or so, used the mace at that time and hit a fellow member across the head, not once, not twice.
All right.
So the fact that the man is lucky to be alive in this same house. So you see, when we make this this argument, we should not forget that sometimes these things will come and haunt us. Let us come back to what is the issue here. What is the issue here is the attempt to impeach the duly elected governor of Rivers State.
All right, Ankio Briggs, yes, there's a small matter of, a court document alleged to have been delivered today, or, was circulated over the weekend. You had something to say about that, so we will go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take, the thoughts of the Elders Forum regarding that. Thank you so much for your time. We still have with us River State activist Ankio Briggs. She is part of the Rivers Elders Forum, and she joins us tonight on Politics HQ as we have been looking at the unfolding political situation in River State. Madam Ankio Briggs, thank you so much for your time. Before we go, paragraphs 6 and 7 of your communique address the judicial aspects of the ongoing crisis in River State. I just want to look at it. It says the forum is aware. It says the forum is entirely, let me just complete. It says the forum is aware and thus rejects the news making the rounds on social media of forum shopping and the purchase of legal instruments outside River State to cause crisis in the state, an alleged already premeditated written court ruling by one Justice Donato Okoro, which we had His Excellency Rufus Ada George say earlier on. Will the forum, the Elders Forum, Rivers Elders Forum, accept the decision of any court regarding either the state of the River State House of Assembly, the position of Speaker, and whose seat is declared vacant or not, or any issue regarding the position of the governor of River State? Will the Rivers Elders Forum accept the decisions of the courts?
Look, it depends. I mean, if the court comes back, and again, this is where I also speak worrisomely about the role of the judiciary in the past how many years when it comes to politics. I mean, the judiciary has presented itself, as far as I can see, as being in a position willing to place itself in a position where it is rubber stamping and agreeing to political decisions that really is not in favor of the people of Nigeria sometimes, and is not in favor of the people of any one particular state sometimes. River State is no exception. Recently, we saw what happened in Kano and how the people protested. Look, when you find yourself in a situation where the judiciary brings itself under question by its behavior and by allowing the judiciary to be used where, in a situation where the state and even the courts in Abuja have equal rights on an issue, and then you find yourself where a politician like maybe the River State government or the River State House of Assembly has taken one order or has been granted one order, and then the other faction leaves Port Harcourt or River State and goes to Abuja and gets a counter order within the same judiciary there is something very fundamentally going wrong and has gone wrong with the way the judiciary is playing its role in the issue of politics. The judiciary is to judge based on evidence given to it justly in favor of justice for whom justice is due. And the judiciary should not allow itself to be seen as being compromised, as being corrupt. Not the whole judiciary, mind you, some members of the judiciary, where very clearly you can see that this very order that we're talking about now, it was already floating as far back as Saturday.
Okay.
And the judgment was supposed to be given today. And it was given verbatim, the same way we saw it floating around on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's exactly the same way they gave it. So how on earth did that emerge? I mean, in what world does that happen where an order is given even before courts open to even hear about the party or what the other party is saying, and then you have given a judgment.
Ankio, Briggs, we have to.
The other person.
We have to go. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry we have to pull the plugs at this point. But want to thank you so very kindly for your time. It's been a pleasure having you, and we hope to talk about this as the situation unfolds. And hopefully you get to have that meeting with Governor Sim Fubara and Minister Yeson Wike. Sit down and see how you can play your roles as elders of River State. Thank you so very kindly for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.